at Self-Made Training Facility in San Marcos. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about mini cuts and utilizing mini cuts within a longer period building phase, as well as kind of the misconception that we get with yo-yo dieting. So, mini cuts. Actually, let's start with prep itself. Prep, say you do a 16-week prep or a 12-week prep. To this stage, you get super lean. While you're prepping, your hormones are going down, down, down. They're crashing. Your metabolism is going down, 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 crashing, and everything is peaking for that stage, but your body kind of goes into fight or flight response, and it's kind of wrecked by the end of prep. So then what you should do is take that same amount of time. Say you did a 16-week prep. You should take 16 weeks to come out of that back into your maintenance level calories. Not a surplus, but your maintenance level. This allows your hormones to slowly come back and reset to its full potential, allow your metabolism to come back to its full potential, and everything to be reset. And then from there, you go into your building phase where you go into a surplus of calories. Now, why do I utilize mini cuts? Because if you want to gain a substantial amount of lean muscle mass, you need to have a longer period of an off season or a building phase. So with that, in order to build that muscle, you're going to find yourself being very insulin resistant. You're going to find yourself not being able to utilize glycogen as well. You're going to have higher carb meals, and it's going to feel like it's just storing. You're going to get really heavy in the stomach. You're going to feel worse. Your brain's going to be kind of fuzzy. You're not going to get as good of pumps in the gym. Everything is kind of backing up because it's trying to push all that through the mitochondria of the cell, so that powerhouse of the cell that has all the nutrients pushed through it and then diverse out into the muscles. Now, that is getting really backed up and getting beaten because of all the surplus. So you do a mini cut. So with my clients, I'll pretty drastically drop their calories, not too much to where it affects their gym time, but enough to make a difference within their caloric deficit. And I do about 4 weeks, 5 weeks tops of a mini cut, and then so it's in and out and then back to their kind of surplus calories. So with that, it allows their insulin they're able to become more insulin sensitive. They're able to use that glycogen better. Their metabolism is spiked again. They feel better. Their brain, their cognitive function starts working a little bit better. So there's definitely perks to doing mini cuts within a longer building phase. Now, the difference between mini cuts and yo-yo dieting. Mini cuts are used in short bursts within a long off season. Yo-yo dieting is whenever you have, this is very common within bikini competitors, physique men competitors. A lot of times they'll diet down for a show. They do great. They take like 3-month off season, they call it, which really they should be spending that time reverse dieting, but they do a 3-month off season. They start to get fluffy again, and then they think, well, crap, I need to prep for another show. And so they do that again, and then again, and again. So they end up doing a crap ton of shows within 2 or 3 years, and you just progressively see them look worse and worse, and it gets harder for them to lose that weight. Why is that? Well, like I said, whenever you're dieting down, everything's crashing. Your hormones are crashing, your metabolism's crashing, you're becoming very insulin resistant, and everything's just kind of going to the wayside. It takes just as long to get all those imbalances back to homeostasis. So with that, if you're immediately cutting again, you're not even back to normal, and you're putting that same stimulus onto your body that wrecked you in the first place, and you're just going to progressively make yourself worse. They did a lab study with rats, I want to say in 2014 or 2015, and they dieted the rats down, and they lost a certain amount of weight, then immediately put them in a surplus back up, and then dieted them back down again in a yo-yo diet, so one extreme to the other. And it showed that the second and third time, it took them 2 times longer to lose the same amount of weight as the first time, but only took them half the time to regain all that fat back. So it just progressively got worse and worse. And the same thing happens with us as humans and as competitors. So it's a little bit different with geared and assisted competitors, but for an all-natural competitor, especially for a female, say a female bikini or a men physique competitor, you need to have that good off-season, utilizing mini cuts to kind of help you stay sane and help the body function properly, but you need to take a good off-season in order to become the best athlete you can.